Messy Christian Mamas. We are 3 Christian moms with a progressive mindset and loving hearts and minds. We are imperfect humans, but we're all loved in God's sight. At some point, we've all felt like the church and Christianity may not have been for us, but God isn't looking for perfection. He's just looking for you.
We are not experts in Christian theology, and we do not represent any particular Christian faith or church. We are simply here to be authentic, and we hope you join us on this journey.
Hello, welcome back to Messy Christian Mamas. This is Kendra.
And this is Ashley.
And we loved our conversation about cults so much last week that we wanted to bring back our new friend of the podcast, Taran. Taran, you want to say hello?
Hi, I'm Taran. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me back. This has been a lot of fun.
All right. So Taran brought some notes. And
Oh my gosh.
I just want to hear. I want to hear about like your favorite cults.
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
I think it's like so interesting about cults.
My favorite cults. Okay. So my favorite cult.
Yes.
There's too many to choose from.
Okay.
There's way too many.
Okay.
But I thought this one, I actually didn't know about this one until a documentary. And I just thought, oh my gosh, this just follows such an archetype of a cult. It's the Nubian, but it had a different name beforehand. I'll have to go back and look it up. And they actually started outside of Georgia.
Uh-huh.
And then they picked up and they moved to Georgia. And when they first moved to Georgia, they had a whole like cowboy theme. Like they were all wearing like the bolo ties and the hats and the button-up shirts with the pristine collar, big belt buckle, because they thought, oh, if we go to Georgia, that's how Georgians look. It's not.
It's not. That's Texas.
It's not.
That's West Texas. They really do look like that in West Texas.
Especially the Atlanta area.
Right.
I mean, that's not.
Nope.
And so instead, they decided to change and go full on Egyptian.
Right.
And so they bought some property outside of Atlanta and they built pyramids.
And I remember seeing these pyramids in college. We were like doing a choir tour and we were going from Macon to Athens and you passed by the pyramids.
And I'm just like, so you thought cowboys fit in, but you're going to double down with the Egyptian theme and the rural South? Seriously?
Right.
But what is interesting, and this really kind of drove home, is how it starts with an ideal. Mm-hmm. And maybe it's messed up from the beginning, but maybe it truly is an ideal. And then the leader starts to get a following.
Right.
And so then the leader becomes more powerful. And so then the leader is a prophet and then becomes more powerful. And then the leader is Christ himself.
Right.
Of reincarnation. So the leader becomes more powerful. And then the leader can start exploiting however he wants. Or she. A lot of times it's sexually. Mm-hmm. It's also taking all your money, taking all your freedoms. You cannot have a wife, but that leader can have multiple wives, and they can get younger and younger and younger until, the federal government steps in sometimes in some cases.
Which I think happened with the Nubians. I think that's what happened.
That's what happened in the Nubians and, the French Davidians and other things too, where it just got to a point where it's exploitation and not religion. Like you've stopped any farce at this point. So,
well, I didn't know too much about Jonestown until this year. And the more I looked into it and was listening to like their philosophies and stuff, I was like, oh man, I could have been in this cult.
Oh yeah.
Like I totally want to believe all that of like people just getting along and, like not having so much racial tension. Just
kumbaya all the way. 100%. Right. And even where I grew up, it was the ideal was everybody turns over everything and we all live equally. Everybody does their part and you just live in this utopia.
Right.
But I think we've learned over the centuries what the utopia actually turns into is exploitation.
Right.
Right.
Tell us
all loss for the members and all gain for the leader.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
Yes. And blindly too, because a lot of people think, the leader's sacrificing more than any of us. But then you go and look and they're like, the leader has
not doing
all of
anything.
your money, is sending you to work all day, 18-hour days.
Right.
While he's sitting back with exploiting children and living in the big house. It's just ridiculous, but it's blinded. And if they do ever get it pointed out to them, they've devoted their lives and they deserve it. I mean, it really is. It's so crazy how very intelligent people can just be like, but they deserve it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
What's one of the most interesting cults for you, Ashley?
I think Jonestown.
Jonestown's fascinating.
Sure. Yeah.
The collapse of it, like I think you were talking about with me earlier, it's almost like the leader saw the collapse coming, so he's like getting ahead of it.
Yep. The one, like the online cults are really interesting to me too. The ones
like twin flame.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
How much power do you have to have where you're like, I'm not even in your life and I still control your life?
But the same with like multi-level marketing too,
Yes.
though. It's like you're usually not in person with those things.
Yes.
But it's still like a sort of cult mentality.
Which begs like, what is the target there?
Yeah. Wait, so you have some notes about multi-level marketing things because you're talking about Amway. Because both my mom and my dad, so my mom sold Mary Kay and my dad sold Amway when we were younger.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did they have any success?
No.
No.
A little bit. I buy Mary Kay for my mom.
Okay. I bought Mary Kay from your mom.
Yeah.
I feel like Mary Kay's not as much of in the bite as
Not anymore. Like
Amway.
maybe back in the days of really achieving that pink Cadillac. Isn't that what it was?
right. And so you have these lofty goals that if you're truly faithful enough and you work hard enough, you can gain them. So with Amway, for instance, I used to babysit in high school for a family, and every Tuesday they had to go to their Amway meetings. Every Tuesday. And so I went over and babysat their kids while they went to their Amway meetings. And it was just their whole life. I mean, it was all over their house.
Right.
Like they had manifestation boards of going diamond and what they were going to do when they go diamond. And if they just worked harder, if they just attended more meetings, then they would go diamond and then they would have wealth. And I'm just like...
And this stuff was so cheap. It's like cheaper than the quality of it. Because my dad didn't sell it for very long. But I remember the same thing. We had like Amway toilet paper and Amway shampoo and Amway food. And it was all like worse than Walmart quality.
And Melaleuca was the same way. I don't know if you remember Melaleuca.
Oh, yeah, Melaleuca.
Yeah. All of these multi-level marketing. And, you see the people who are up higher than you, who are making more money. And you're like, I can do that. I can do that. If I work hard enough, then I'm like, if you work hard enough, you're going to run out of human beings to have underneath you.
Right.
If you're just, so yeah.
And some people do make money off of them, but you have to be like one of the first ones in.
Yeah.
So as long as you're like one
it's
of the
much
first
like
ones.
a Ponzi scheme. The Ponzi scheme, the first people in on a Ponzi scheme do great, phenomenal, until they don't. But the ones who come in later, the lower downs, they're just there like hoping and seeing that other people are being successful.
Right.
And maybe they can too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Sad.
But yeah, a lot of it, I think it does. It goes down to the bite model. It goes down to charismatic leadership. And I think that charismatic leadership is different for each one. So
yeah, and that the book, she kind of talks a little bit about it's not just the words alone, it's also the performance. That usually the leaders are very good performers and very dramatic in the sermons they give or speeches they give. I think there's usually something like with their eyes too. There's something about their eyes that's like hypnotic, like Charles Manson. Like Charles Manson eyes.
I don't understand the appeal, but oh my gosh.
Just like something, I don't know.
Those
like
women to this day are
eyes.
still like, aren't they still like
I think
under his control?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just such a fundamental shift. It's insane.
Right.
But they definitely have these leaders out there that have mastered this. So ones that are disturbing to me, and again, I'll have to remember the name, I'm sorry, where they are so physically abusive. and they're taught to be physically abusive, and they can't talk about it. They can't tell. Like, you are encouraged to beat your child.
Oh,
and
wow.
I'm just like, how does your heart not just cry out and say, this isn't right?
Right.
When you're told you have to beat your child. So the one I'm thinking of, again, I'll look at the name and we can add it later maybe. But it actually ended in a death, a beaten death. And I was just like, how do you not like stop? And I'm just thinking of my own child. I'm like, there's no way
Right.
that I would do this. And they put the church and their teachings ahead of it. And then one of the things that actually really stuck with me in my own journey was I kind of had to parallel my experience with another church that was very similar, but not mine, because then I can see their faults. I can see the cracks.
Yeah.
Right? I can't see it in my church, but I can see it in the other church. And one of the things that I was always taught growing up is, we're persecuted because we are the truth. We are the true church. And that's upsetting Satan. And so, of course, he's going to send everything he has after us. And so then we look at this other church and they have people protesting against them and getting really angry. And I'm like, why are they so mad at them? They're not the true church. We are. Mm-hmm. And so I start looking at it, and there's things like shunning. There's things like you're not allowed to give your child medical care. Yeah. So stories of children who could easily live and their parents choose to let their child die.
Yep.
Rather than disobey the church leaders.
Scientology, right?
Right.
More than just that, but yes, absolutely, sure. Scientology. And I'm just like, wow, they're not protesting because it's the true religion. They're protesting because they're dead wrong and they're scared for the people who are in this cult.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was a big shift of it's not protesting because Satan wants to stop us. It's protesting because they are kind, loving individuals who see horrible things happening and we need to stop and listen. Mm-hmm. So yeah, maybe if somebody protests against you, you should stop and be like, do they actually have a point? I mean, because it was always told to us that the more resistance you get, it's the stronger God's love is for you, the more correct you are. And that's just not true.
Right. I know in the IBLP that there's what was the name of the documentary? Shiny Happy People.
Shiny Happy People.
Right? Mm-hmm. That blanket training.
Oh, that disturbed me so much.
It's so disturbing, right? That
I don't know about this.
You don't want to know about this.
Okay.
Sorry. You put your baby on a blanket, and if the baby tries to move off the blanket, you spank, you hit, you.
I mean, we're talking children's just learning to crawl.
Oh, wow.
Little babies.
Until they understand that they are not allowed to do anything without your permission.
Yep.
Wow.
From before they can walk.
Just teaching subservience from that young an age.
Wow.
And that gets even darker and even scarier for when you become an adolescent, especially girls.
Oh, yeah. All of
adults.
the sexual abuse and
you're not to question it. If you question it, you're questioning
it's your
God.
fault that happened.
Yes.
It's not the man's fault.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
it's
the
really
white man is never at fault.
Right.
He's God's chosen. And I've actually found that interesting with certain stories of some very horrible narcissists who are just like, but I'm not, because I'm doing God's will. I'm his chosen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the stuff that they just feel like they are entitled to do, not just men.
Right.
Not just men. But I'm entitled to do this because I am God's chosen person. Mm-hmm. Right. Because I've been told that by my church leader. Mm-hmm. And you're supposed to have his picture on the wall.
Yeah.
And we would even sing hymns to them.
Oh, wow. That's just like Scientology.
I mean, it's idolatry, which you're also learning is a bad thing at the same
Idolatry
time.
is a bad thing unless it's like God's chosen leader. Then it's a great thing. And you need to absolutely not question him. Put his picture on your wall.
Right? Talk about the cognitive dissonance.
Oh, my gosh.
All right.
It's so upsetting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's all we've got for tonight.
We'll do more cults next time. If you have me back.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Taran.
Yes.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Yeah.
Ashley, you want to pray
Yes,
us
I'll
out?
pray us out. Yeah. Dear Lord, thank you so much for bringing us here tonight. Thank you for Taran. Thank you for her friendship and her amazing brain. that I'm sure has helped her through many struggles, and her amazing heart as well. Please be with all of the messy Christian mamas as we take this break, and guide us in our paths and our different careers and what we are doing here on earth, and make sure that we are following your path. But keep our bond strong during this break. And we can't wait to record some more episodes in your name. It's in your name we pray.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Messy Christian Mamas. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, and Instagram. Until next time, embrace the mess, share the love, and shine your light bright, my friends.